Fridays. I'm David Carlson, Assistant Recreation Director for the Sila Vista, and have I got a fun Friday for you, because this is one of my best things. I love doing it. I'm doing science. This is an acid-base science experiment. There's going to be a chemical reaction happening here. We're going to start with just a plain brown egg. Now, I chose brown eggs because it's pretty cool. If you do white eggs, you miss part of the fun, because this has a brown pigment on the shell. As you can tell, the shell's nice and hard. The shell's made of calcium carbonate. And the acid that we use in this, because it's an acid base, is just simple white vinegar, and this is about a 5% solution. So what I'm going to do is carefully take this egg, because I don't want to break it putting it in, slide it to the bottom. Now I'm going to put my goggles on, because if you ever splash vinegar in your face, it'll really burn your eyes. So always be very careful. Remember not to do this experiment by yourself, kids. I want your parents to help you out with them. And the cool thing about these, they make you look like a geek, which is good, because that means you're a science guy. So we're going to carefully have a parent or an adult pour the vinegar. As I say, that's an acid. And vinegar contains acidic acid. So acidic acid, an acidic acid will slowly eat away whatever it's poured on. So if I would leave it on this tray, it'll actually start eating the stainless steel. That's why you never want to clean stainless steel with an acid, because left over time, it'll pit the pan. But we're not going to use it that long on the pan, so I don't care if I splash a little on, it'll be okay. As I said, the egg contains calcium carbonate, which is a base, hence the acid-base reaction. Now, as you can see, something pretty cool is happening here. Can you see what that is? Those are tiny bubbles forming on the calcium carbonate on the outside of the egg, and the acid is reacting to that, and it's releasing some things. Can you tell me what those are? Does anybody know? It's carbon dioxide. That's right, the carbon dioxide that makes the fizzy in your pop. Well, I can take these off now, because I don't think I'm going to splash anything anymore. Watch this. So I'll take my finger. Can you see how it's knocking the bubbles off? Then they slowly reform there. That's pretty cool. Now, I've done a series of these, which I'm going to show you. This is the first one I did, and I did this one over a month ago. It actually only takes about 48 hours to do this. You know, I can't get that out with the spoon, so I'm going to have to dump it. And you are going to see a naked egg. That's right, there's no shell in the egg. Look at that. Now I'm going to grab another one of my eggs here. Look at the difference in sizes. This egg, when it started, was this big. Can you believe that? Look at that. It's almost twice the height and diameter of the normal egg. If you look really carefully, I should have brought a flashlight, because then we could shine it through the bottom and you can actually still see the yolk in there. So that's pretty cool. Here, maybe I'll try to use the cell phone light. If you look really close, as I can see it from this angle, you can still see the yellow yolk in there. And yeah, you could eat these, but I probably wouldn't, because there could be a chance of salmonella because they haven't cooked. Chances are the acid has killed all the bacteria. But a pickled raw egg, I don't think it would taste good at all. Now, the neat thing about this reaction, as I said, we're going to learn a couple big words here. Water soluble, and the acid in this is water soluble. So you know why this egg is so much bigger? Because of osmosis. Osmosis is the process of a molecule of a solvent that tends to pass through a semi-permeable membrane, which this is semi-permeable, which means it's got microscopic little holes, and it can pull in the concentrate, because the inside of the egg is more concentrated than the solution. As you can tell, vinegar, it's not thick at all, but if you ever open up an egg, it's thick on the inside. And what happens with the science of this has a much more dense liquid on the inside than the vinegar, and it's water soluble, so the osmosis is going to pull the vinegar in through the semi-permeable membrane into the thickness, and it tries to dilute it so it's the same as the dilution of the vinegar. Now, that will never happen because, like I said, it is semi-permeable membrane, and it'd probably break the egg by the time it got to that size. Let's open up some of these more. Like I said, this one I did about a month ago, and about 3 weeks later I did this one. Let's actually skip that one and we'll go right to this one. This one I did just 48 hours ago. Neat thing about it, can you see the little brown on that? That's right, that's still part of the eggshell. And actually it's not the eggshell, that's part of the pigment that was on the egg. And pigment is what makes the color of the egg brown. and it hasn't totally dissolved all that off yet, because you can see still that kind of brown film. We'll take this off and look at it. Yeah, that actually comes off of my fingers. And look at the color difference, because this has only been 48 hours. So some of the pigment underneath the brown was white. And if you leave it in long enough, it'll take all the pigment off. And look at that. Isn't that crazy? These naked eggs bounce. That's because the membrane of the egg is pretty soft. And then we'll go back to this one, and you can see the calcium carbonate dissolving. The calcium carbonate, remember, is the hard shell, and the acid's dissolving it. Well, that's pretty cool science. So if you do try this at home, as I've said, have a parent or guardian help you, because this is an acid-base reaction, and you don't want to get any of this on your hands, because then if you rub your eyes, that could really burn, and you'd have to flush your eyes out with a lot of water. So we'll be safe when we're doing this. Be safe when you're doing it. Remember, you can bounce these, but I wouldn't bounce them too high, because I don't want to make a mess, because I have to clean it up. Well, thanks for joining me for Fun Friday Science. We're going to do a lot more science projects in the future. I hope you like it. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can see us on Facebook, the city's webpage, Instagram, even Twitter. So thank you. Bye-bye.